So we get there, and it's not that far from it. It's like an hour. And my friend lives close in Iowa.
Yes.
So we went.
I have season tickets to the and I bought an extra ticket this year to take friends and family.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I haven't been there. A couple years ago we were there. Wasn't it?
Went to see John DeAngelis.
Thank you. But anyway, it's so cool. It's like the house itself is very
Yes, and I don't go to places that have evening performances because I don't drive around. Yeah, I know. And I tend to not go to Detroit. If you need somebody to go with, I'll even meet you in Oxford. Oh, that's right. Well, I was thinking if you went on a night you had to work. Oh, Saturday. Okay.
This is just overstimulated. Because I didn't. I think I did the doll room. Like, the walls are closing in. These dolls are just.
No microphones. Hear them.
So much at their right.
No, usually they put it on Sunday. Looks like in a board meeting? We've never had a board meeting or
Oh no, this was when I went. We went to
the check register this month. So the two checks, one was 13,000 something, and the other one was 2,000. Because there were 2 months. There was the bills. They didn't meet in. So we got the bills from July.
no,
Here's the services in the budget. 221 is what was done in 2024. Original budget in 2025 is 259. Today it's 279 and 103.
right down the second.
Everybody keeps.
Is there any other control?
Yeah, there's audit, but there's and that's why everybody here. Oh, I think because we never had asked for much because usually Melissa would just say, okay, we're doing this and my guess is I don't know what other contractors because it's just one lump sum. And around the board, you get to see contractors broken down into what.
Anything else for me? Those are.
It's on a love and vice team. My guess is they have better. I think this whole library staff. I don't believe it. That's my guess, but I don't know.
It's not a problem, it's a trait. You have to learn how to label stuff, you know? Make it politically acceptable.
They have 2 members on one side, 2 members on the other side. Even if there's a passage on the agenda, that's probably what they're waiting for. Quorum is 4. So they have a quorum, but if the vote is 2-2, whatever they propose to pass. He stepped out. So we. I don't
and that's fine. I just
along with
the guy that's contract over, a buddy of a buddy. It's all, these circles been made, and that's where it's going
I'll stop by you.
Thinking about the I just feel like the storyline what I think is trying to whereas the pool is very much
I think everybody on the list to get the full
Check 1, 2.
Feedback on it? Yeah, you're gonna get some feedback. It's old. Plus plus this is sitting right on top of it, so. There you go. She's not here right now.
Bringing this meeting to order. Welcome to the Library District, Lapeer District Library meeting. We need a volunteer to do the pledge and the prayer. Okay, Carol.
I'm going to do the prayer first. Father, we welcome your Holy Spirit to be here with us today. Psalm 71:3 says, "Be to us a rock of refuge in which to dwell, and a sheltering stronghold to which we may continually resort, which you have appointed to save us. for you are our rock and fortress. May your peace that passes all understanding surround us and fill us as we seek to make our Lapeer District Library the best it can be for our community. Please restore good health to Bill, strengthen him and his wife, Mayor Marquardt, in the name of God the Father, Jesus the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, please?
You have to do the additions first.
Oh. Okay. Any additions, deletions?
Yeah, I have one. I'd like to add a public hearing on the new budget for 2026 as a separate hearing within our meeting. And the comments on the budget from the public can only be about the budget. And I'd like to see that before we have our general public comments. As far as the vote on the new budget, that would take place as scheduled under new business. The one other thing I would like to ask in the consent agenda for the facilities report, I'd like to let Brian explain the new the cooling unit problems that we're having so that he can get back to work. He has quite a bit to do today. And then here again, it'll be voted on under new business as shown on the agenda.
Okay, you're talking about Brian being right after?
Yes.
Right after additions, deletions?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd also like to add, at the end of new business, material acquisitions motion.
Isn't that under
Can I
new
get 'em?
business?
Can I get?
Isn't, that's already under new business.
That's under new business.
Carrie said that it was under book purchasing / order.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that's where she said to keep it at.
Okay. Okay. Can I have a motion then for the additions, deletions, and additions?
I'll support Carrie's motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, Brian?
No, we have to do the budget first. What Perry just,
We do the budget first.
budget within the meeting.
You'll have to call, according to the fact sheet here,
Do you have the fact sheet? Shall we give you a copy?
I do have the facts.
Yeah. Here it is.
you'll have to have a
Thank you.
roll call. And then it'll be acted on as like a separate meeting. You have to take minutes and then.
Separate
after-
minutes.
Pardon?
Separate minutes.
Yeah, separate
Yeah.
minutes. And then after the public is spoken, we don't comment anything that the public, it's like a regular public comment.
Sure.
And then you have to close the second meeting. And you have to state the times when it starts and when it ends.
Okay. I need a motion to open the special budget hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the special budget hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nays have it. Opposed has it. I'm sorry. It passes.
Next,
Okay.
public comments on budget
Okay.
only.
The floor is open for public comments on the budget. You can only speak of the budget.
Correct.
Do we get the microphone?
Sure.
Okay. Want to make sure everybody see it. Jean Watts, Mayfield Township. I was in a finance committee a couple of months ago, and actually a board member said, I think one of the staff member that was there said something about the budget being presented in September. And a member of the board said, well, who does the budget? And the staff member said, the director. Well, we don't have a director. We don't have an interim director. We don't have any, so I don't know who put this budget together, but whoever put it together, it looks very similar to the budget from last year, which is not uncommon, except for one item. Under library services, contractual services went from actual in 2024, $221,000, to budgeted in 2025 of $259,000, to amended 2025 budget to $79,000, and now they're budgeting for 2026, $301,000. Now, I know services, some services go up, the audit may have gone up $1,000 or $2,000, whatever, but we're talking almost $100,000 difference in 2 years. If you aren't concerned about that, you should be.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else?
Brian Cloutier, resident of the district. I'm just concerned about the budget in relation to the whole fact about the LSTA funds going away. They haven't been inserted back into the state budget to provision for the elimination of LSTA funds, and how that's going to impact your budget on a local level. I don't think that you've provisioned for that I'm aware of. And if you have, at some point, I would be interested to hear what that plan is. But you're subject to see a considerable loss of services as a result of this change. The other concern I have is that right now, to my knowledge, you're not certifiable for state aid because you do not have the level of staff that you need in order to do that. And as a result of that, you could be forfeiting, I don't know, in excess of $70,000 as a result of that. So how are you provisioning for that?
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Hearing no one else. This public hearing is closed.
No, the motion's later.
Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Can I get a second?
What was the motion? We didn't hear it back.
To accept the consent agenda as written.
Do you have
Thank
to
you.
close the first meeting, because it's a meeting within a meeting?
He did.
Okay, but do we have to second that or anything? Because we had to second it to open it.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you can go, it doesn't hurt to. You can go ahead and
I'll
take
make
a
a
motion.
motion to close the budget hearing.
Do I get a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, back to the consent agenda. Maybe a motion? Peggy, you gave me a motion. Can I get a
Third
second?
time, I make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
Wouldn't you be doing that under new business?
Consent agenda?
Not the
Pardon?
budget,
The
one was
consent
consent.
agenda?
On the budget?
No, it wasn't the
we're just
budget.
doing consent.
Oh, I'm sorry. Uh,
So then if we accept
I
it,
see what you're doing, okay.
then Brian can go.
My mistake.
Okay. Public comment time?
You're gonna hear from Brian.
No, we're gonna do Brian first. Brian
Oh,
first.
Brian first?
Yeah.
Okay, just Brian.
Coming up.
Okay. Brian, you're hiding in the back.
I'm hiding in the back.
Do you want the microphone?
No, I don't think I need it. I'm pretty loud. I'll stay over here so everybody can see me. So for the second time this year, the server room AC has went down. So I've gotten 2 proposals for you guys to look at. Both to replace, then I have 1 proposal to fix one of the issues that is causing the issue right now. My opinion is we replace. It is more expensive right now, but the unit itself is over 20 years old and uses an old style refrigerant that is no longer being made. So it would be like putting a cheap engine in the brain, you know, it's just kicking the problem further down the line. So I believe you guys all have the proposals.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Goyette's proposal is $28,575.
Yes.
Doesn't mention the new line set, and the other one from Kapala.
So Goyette's proposal is replacing the old line set. Kapala's is flushing the old line, or the current line set and just reusing that. That's the only difference.
What's your recommendation about that?
It's a solid line, there's no soldering in it, so it doesn't matter either way, so, yeah.
The other proposal is $23,590, so it's $5,000 more for Goyette than Kapala.
Correct. And that would be the line, a lot of that would be the line set and just the different labor charges and all that, so.
So let me get, you said it doesn't matter, it's fine.
Yes,
the line
yes,
set.
if they flush the line set or replace it, both is good, so either would work.
Isn't the one that,
So the
the one
seven,
that wants to leave it is actually more than,
no,
am I looking at it backwards?
yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
Okay.
Kapala would leave it and just
Oh,
flush
okay,
it,
yeah,
Goyette would
I
replace
had
it.
it completely backwards.
Then there's the cheaper option, which would just, so what we have is there's a leak in the coil itself. So that would be the cheaper option. It also would take about 5 months to get that coil, because they have to build it because they don't make this unit anymore. So it would take about 5 months for them to build it, then ship it over and have it installed.
And what's the potential, damage if that happens?
So
Take a chance on losing
we take it, so what would likely, we would, more than likely, the next thing to go would be the compressor. So that would be another couple thousand plus the refrigerant. So the refrigerant right now is an R22. It runs at about $125 a pound, and we need about, I believe, 10 pounds. And that's just the refrigerant cost. So they would have to put that old refrigerant into the, if we just replace a coil, they would have to continually keep putting, every time they work on it, they have to put that refrigerant in. So it's costing us about $1,000 every time they come out at minimum. So
Did you say the refrigerant, they're not able to get it or they're not producing it?
Yes, so the government got involved, 15 years ago and stopped making the R22 refrigerant. They went to a 410 refrigerant, 410A. They stopped this year making the 410A, and now they're at an R34 or R454. So, yeah, about every 10 years they stop making the current refrigerant and go to a new one. So,
I've heard of Capella, but never heard of Goyette. Do you have experience with?
well, I have experience with both. They're both great companies. So, yeah, I don't mind working with either. It's whatever you guys prefer.
And when will we have to make our decision?
Today.
Can you recommend one over the other, or, I mean, 'cause obviously you.
Goyette has been with us working on that unit since I've been employed with the library. So, I honestly, I don't have an opinion over either one way or the other. They're both great companies to work with. So, I'll let you guys make the hard decision.
Let me ask a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it the same size unit?
Yes, it will be
For both?
almost identical unit.
But I mean, from either bid?
Yes, they're both identical
They're
units.
identical, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
They're both Lieberts, so.
Capalla's local, I mean, huh?
Yes, sir. Kapala's right by 69 there. And Goyette, I believe, is in Flint.
Flint?
Yep.
When it's, and Brian can talk with this too, when we started, Goyette was the only one who did this type of work. So that's why it originally started with them.
I wonder if Goyette would change their bid if they didn't replace that line set.
I can certainly call them.
Because to me, if you think the line set's fine.
Yeah.
That would be a consideration to me.
And then that might bring them closer to the Capella.
Right.
Just keep working with the same company that you're familiar with, and although I know Capella is a good company too, but,
If they don't go down on there, would you vote on still going with them at that price?
yeah, we would still have to make a decision.
Yeah.
I'm really a toss-up, to be honest with you. This is not my area of expertise, and, I know you're putting it on us to make the decision, but, I would probably go with your recommendation, just because of you're the one that's in it. Knows the most about it. Putting you back on the spot.
Put me back on the spot. So, if I had a recommendation, I would probably go with a more local company. So it would be Kapala.
Okay.
Would you mind, if you can, calling them before this meeting's over, Goyette?
Okay.
Find out what their price would be if they didn't put any line,
Yes, I can do that.
see how comparable they
I can sure do that.
are. Is everybody okay with that?
Well, I'm not sure they're gonna get back to you quick enough for the meeting, so, if we're gonna do that, maybe, if our concern is for the best price for the exact same quote, I would say, have them take that out, and then we'll go with whatever quote is better.
Okay.
Does that make any sense? Because I'm just not sure, Carol.
The line, take the line set out? Is that what you mean?
Right.
But they can take a bit, John's right, to get back with us. It took about
Yeah.
2 weeks to get the quote for each one. So he's right, they might not be able to just quickly take it off during the meeting.
Right. We need to work on this.
Yes, sir.
You need a decision.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, so it's been down for about a week. I do have temporary air conditioning in there that it's struggling, so.
Yeah. Did they either, did either company give you a time frame on when they get the work done?
No, they did not.
No? be something to consider too, like,
The fastest
you know, if one company says 5
So-
months and this company says a couple weeks, you know, that's.
From my understanding is they're getting it from the same
Distributor.
manufacturer,
Mm,
so it would be the same time frame.
comparable.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are, they're specialized units, it's not like your home AC, so they don't keep a stock of it.
Probably about 40 now. Yeah.
You recommend Capella?
Yes, ma'am, I feel confident.
And I would make a motion to accept Capella's.
That's under new business.
Oh, so,
But we can vote on it under new business.
Oh, okay, so this is just your presentation and then we'll vote.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted him to give the opportunity to explain everything so that he could actually get back to it.
My pleasure. All right, thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, it's public comment time.
I don't think I need a microphone. The current board majority, Kari Kohlman, John DeAngelis, Peggy Brotzke, and Carol Brown, began their takeover in January of 2023 and consolidated their majority in April 2025. 5 months on, I believe today's agenda says a lot about their priorities and the damage they are doing to the LDL. First, they are driving away staff through harassment and intimidation. We see the agenda item on the director search. This follows the departure of well-qualified director Danielle Brigatti. She left after being mistreated by board majority members. One particular example involved board chair Kari Kohlman telling Brigatti, "Now you work for me." Brigatti holds a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in library science. She ran the LDL full-time for a salary and benefits package befitting her qualifications and experience, totaling over $100,000 a year. Kohlman has no library degree or previous experience and is primarily responsible for running these board meetings, which earn her $30 each month. We also see resignations for 2 LDL department heads on the agenda. Janelle Bishop, head of adult nonfiction and an LDL employee for 16 years, and Harmony Cricket, a 9-year employee who was branch manager head and liaison to the Friends of DeAngeli group. These resignations follow the departure of Children's Library Department head Mary Cowles. Between Bishop and Cricket, they take 25 years of experience, knowledge, and dedication from the LDL. If we had a respected director and a caring board, they would be begging these valuable librarians to stay. The second indicator of majority board damage is the agenda item on book purchasing policy. It is my understanding that the board majority wants to suspend purchasing books for the LDL. Is it because they want to stop filling patron requests for books they don't approve of? Probably. Is it because they don't understand how libraries obtain books and they're trying to figure it out? Probably. Is it because they need funds to pay their enormous legal bills? Probably. But I think the underlying truth behind the suspension is that Kohlman, DeAngelis, Brotzke, and Brown are just not library people. They're not readers or academics or bibliophiles. They don't count the days until the latest book by their favorite author comes out so they can devour it over the weekend. Suspending book purchases is of no consequence to them because they're fueled by religion, not by reading. That's why they see no value in retaining talented libraries. That's why they can urge Lapeer County citizens to defund the LDL through Axe My Tax or by voting against a library millage if books they oppose aren't removed. That's why they've taken over the library board, and that's why book lovers and library supporters in Lapeer County should continue to oppose them at every meeting, morning, noon, or night.
Thank you for your comments.
Hello, I'm Gigi Griffith, and I will be speaking for Karen Bishenko for the 9/18/2025 LDL board meeting. Watch what they do.
Get the mic, Gigi.
Okay, can I have the mic, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am speaking for Karen Brashenko for today's meeting. Watch what they do, not what they say. After the July board meeting, Kari Kohlman's husband Tom asked me why I think his wife is trying to ruin the library. Kohlman told me again and again that his wife loves the library. While I had never used those words, I do see evidence of Kari Kohlman harming our library. Watch what they do, not what they say. At the June meeting, Kari Kohlman appointed John DeAngelis to 2 committees. She also appointed Bill Hamilton to the Bylaws Committee. Both of these men have repeatedly gathered petition signatures for accident tax. Excuse me, I have a cold. Which seeks to abolish the property taxes that provide nearly 90% of the LDL's funding. Why would Kohlman appoint people who work to defund the library? At the August 8th bylaw meetings, John DeAngelis passed a legal-sized clipboard to Peggy Brotzke and asked her to sign it. This appeared to be a petition, and it seemed highly inappropriate. Peggy signed it. Watch what they do, not what they say. Kari Kohlman also appointed Kelly Bales to the Bylaws Committee. Kelly Bales is a sister of Julie Schloud, the Mayfield County Township Clerk who told Dr. Sharma Shawns she was off the LDL Board a year before her term was up. Watching Bales and other members criticize policies written by people who are far more qualified than themselves while displaying their lack of basic library operations knowledge has been concerning. It whiffs of arrogance. DeAngelis told an attendee who couldn't hear the meeting that he should get hearing aids. This was a highly inappropriate statement by someone with Title II ADA responsibilities, and a gross way to treat anyone. Watch what they do, not what they say. Kohlman also appointed Carol Brown to these 2 committees, though Brown has displayed a remarkable lack of knowledge and rude decorum in board meetings, loudly calling Jan Gillis Mrs. Secretary. I found this to be incredibly disrespectful. Kohlman also ineptly and rudely countered Bonnie Lawrence when she asked about the appointments. Watch what they do, not what they say. In June, Kari Kohlman failed to thank the auditor or even acknowledge the end of his presentation. This is highly unusual behavior. Kohlman also seems unaware of the importance of a civil work environment. The highly qualified library director left in February, citing the treatment she received from Kari Kohlman and other members of the board. LDL now has no director and no department heads. Dedicated and beloved staff are quickly leaving our library. Also at the July meeting, Kari Kohlman scolded the assistant director of the library and accused her of being untruthful when she pointed out issues. I was appalled by this disrespectful treatment to our library employees.
Your time's up.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
So in light of the things that I've heard, I guess I'm going to ask you, have any of you been involved in library board training so you know the parameters of the job? So that's all. I think you need library board training so you know exactly what you can and can't do. I think that that would be a boon to a lot of people in this community.
Thank you for your comment.
Since the board recently voted in prayer before meetings, I reached out to my sister who is Jewish, and she shared something pretty wonderful. I don't speak Hebrew, so I can't say a prayer in Hebrew, but Tikkun Olam is a Hebrew phrase meaning repairing the world, and it refers to the concept of humanity taking responsibility to improve the world, whether by mending societal injustices or addressing spiritual and physical fractures within creation. I think that's pretty beautiful and quite appropriate. I don't have anything really novel to say here today, but I just wanted to talk about my observations. I wonder really what's next on your agenda. The minute you gain the majority of the board, you voted Bill Marquardt out of his position and voted Kari Kohlman in as the board chair. And so far, you've moved location of the meetings, time of the day, and added Christian prayer to the beginning of the meetings. You fired the library lawyer, an expert in her field, and hired a local that has decimated the legal budget because he has to spend time learning and researching library law. Also, as a group that decided to keep funds local, when you hired Denney, you selected a search firm from California to find our new director. So, I mean, quite remarkable. And you did, I don't know how seriously you considered the two Michigan firms. One of them would have been quite inexpensive because if you lost your director within a year, you get your next search for a very nominal fee, about $1,000. And this search is going to cost about $6,000.
Oh my God.
So, yeah. And I'd love to know where the progress is on that because obviously we need to move forward with that search. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
I was also going to comment on the hiring of Mr. Denney, who was an
Could you put it up here?
I was also going to comment on the hiring of Mr. Denney as an unexperienced library lawyer. He has spent, as of June 19, 26 and a half hours doing research, not any actual legal work, costing $5,764. The previous year, the library's legal expenses were $4,076.38. That's less than the amount Mr. Denney has done on research without actually doing any work for the library. He has yet to review the policy and bylaw changes that this board has recommended, and that's going to cost thousands of dollars. Again, I can see why they think they need $300,000 for their legal fund next year. And we can see from today how Mr. Denney is helping these board members run a meeting because they don't know how to do it either. My other comment is children read at different levels and mature at different ages. Parents know their children better than any board member or librarian. They know the values and beliefs they want to instill in their children. Why don't you trust them to decide which books their children should read? My other comment is, why are all the board members on the ad hoc committee from this side of the table? Why is there not representation from the other point of view? And at one board meeting, Mrs. Brotzke gave a packet of material to one of her supporters, but not to anybody else who was at the meeting.
Thank you for your comment.
Folks, I am the gentleman that was told to get a hearing aid. There were several other people throughout several meetings that had raised issue with not being able to hear what was going on because the ad hoc committee was sitting in a circle. Two of them were talking into their table and chest. They weren't projecting, they were mumbling. There were several people made the request for hearing. Now, when that got out, it got recorded accidentally because the conversation took place after the meeting. And at the next meeting, the ad hoc committee was warned that they had better be quiet and watch what they say because you never know when the camera's on, what will be recorded, and it may come back to bite us. To watch these people go through this manual, you have 4 people sitting there at any given moment, and you have 4 different generations of manual they're looking. They have to sort through to find where stuff is in a copy they have. To watch them sit in a meeting and read a page and a half of information and then spend 10 minutes trying to decipher the English language is painful. They have discussed privacy issues. They have discussed a lot of things. And the last time they were discussing whether they had to notify people they were going to take pictures in a public library. Anybody that has 2 bits of common sense knows you have no expectation of privacy in a public building. Then we got a 10-minute recitation by Mr. DeAngelis about how wonderful it was for his daughter that she just graduated and she had been in the paper. Somebody had got a picture of her at the library at one point, and they still occasionally run it. Now, there's a lot of stuff you people don't eat. You've got to go to these meetings to see what they're trying to do to you and the inept people that are doing it. Now, I would like to address you, sir, directly. I have talked to you several times after meetings. You've always looked me in the eye and answered me directly. I'm going to tell you, the rumor mill is your term is close to expiring. The rumor is they're looking for somebody to replace you. You told me you would never walk away from this. I hope you will stand your ground. You have been the one person that has answered. As far as Mr. DeAngelis and the search committee, I raised issue a long time ago with the board that I had heard that Mr. DeAngelis, whether business or personal, had connections to the firm that was accepted to do the search. The board ignored it as far as I know. Nobody questioned me, nobody pulled me aside to talk to me, find out where the information came from, or where to go to check it. You guys take it for what it's worth. We're getting hosed.
Thank you for your comment.
I would just like to speak about partially the budget. I know that Mrs. Moy said that last year we spent about $4,000. Between July 18th and September 18th, we have written 2 checks to Richard Denney, Lechletter, Childers, and Bosch for a total of $15,532. And I'm pretty sure he's not doing this for free either.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else?
I'm back.
More of the comments was during the public
Budget.
but you are correct.
Jan Watts, Smithfield Township. When I first thought about speaking today, I really wanted to come across as angry. Some of you have already done that. About the many things that have been done since the new board, what I call the new board, took over the leadership of Lapeer District Library. But after much thinking, I decided I would rather talk about why I am sad. I'm sad that a number of people on this board, because of their dislike for a few books in the library, succeeded in getting appointed to their positions with little regard to the overall well-being of the library system. I am sad that this board did not see fit to hiring an interim director so that the majority of the governance of the board in the library could continue without interruption. I am sad not only that we have lost a director, but we have now lost our 3 department heads. They saw that working under this board was not in their best career interests. I am sad that the board has put on responsibilities on the remaining staff to perform way beyond their assigned positions, which then shows mistakes that they're being made in library board meetings and procedures. I am sad that you see having other community members who also have no experience in library governance on your committees, as there are much more valuable individuals with background and experience, such as current staff, former directors, and former board members. I am sad that community members feel the need to attend board meetings and committee meetings because they don't trust you and what you are attempting to do. I am sad that you fired your extremely qualified library attorney because she told you what you didn't want to hear and hired an attorney who has cost you thousands of dollars because he keeps having to research library law. But most of all, I am sad that this has caused the division in our community and a support for an institution that should be valuable to all of us and beyond political partisanship. I've been part of this library community for over 50 years. I started as a new resident, a mom of small children, a dedicated library volunteer, a charter member of the Friends of the Library, and as a board trustee and president for 20 years.
Time's up. Thank you for your comments.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Laura Frangela. I'm from Columbiaville. I'm using the mic because I'm an introvert and I don't come to these kinds of things. I'm not outspoken, but we are here today because the library board changed the meeting time in order to keep many people away from coming up here and speaking. So that's why I'm here, and I'm here to ask the board to please change that time back because the library is here for all of the community, not just some.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else?
My name is Rose Navarre. I'm from Attica Township. I'm not an introvert, but I absolutely hate coming to this kind of stuff. It's not my thing. I have 3 boys. I do not have any grandchildren. And I was made aware of some of the books in the library. Now, if everyone has not had their hands on the handful of books that we are upset about, then I please beg you, before you have any comment, that you look through these books. The issue is there can be children as young as 10 who can take out books without parental advice or even knowledge, without the parents knowing. That's how I got involved in this. Honestly, many of my friends go to the left. I used to be a middle of the roader, but I've always had conservative values. I believe in God very strongly. And I'm very, very spiritual. And I know that there's people who keep confusing religion and God. They're not the same thing. So I really wish people would stop doing that because they're very different. And the same goes for, if I hear one more person talk about banning the books, I have come to the meetings from the beginning. Now, I don't go to all the meetings because I, for one, could not make those meetings in the afternoon. I don't know that your turnout is any less than some of those meetings. I almost feel like it's a little better. But regardless, I'm not thrilled to be here. But I cannot stand silent. No child should see those books at 10 years old. No child should see some of the illustrations. And yes, they're illustrations. They're not pictures. But they're very, very, very graphic. And I'm a nurse, and in the one book, Gender Queer, there is a very volatile picture. If you are a mother of a girl, and I don't have girls, but as a nurse, I was disgusted reading this. You're supposed to be informing young girls and teaching young girls about an experience going to the OBGYN. I flipped the one page. She has a dagger a steer going through her vagina, all the way out the back with blood pouring out, wishing she had never done it, sounding like it was the worst experience of her life. As a nurse, that pisses me off, okay? That's what are you teaching these young kids? To me, that book has no business being where a young adolescent can get that book. Freedom of speech, great, but you're right. Parents can choose what they want for their kids. Absolutely, 100% agree. My brother is gay, so don't pull the homophobic. I took care of the AIDS patients in the hospital when no one would touch them. It is inappropriate for that book to be in that library for young people to read. That page alone horrified me. So people talk about humanity. That was a beautiful quote from your sister or sister-in-law. But I do want you to practice what you preach, because I've been to the meetings and it is not human, it's volatile. It's upsetting to come to these meetings, some of the way that people talk to each other. I don't know if you've been to all of them, but it's wrong. On both sides, maybe both sides, okay? But I'm telling you, some of the name-calling, the fascism, it really has no place. Can we just talk? I'm serious. I just cannot believe what this turns into. It really was about those things. Is it time?
Time's up.
My
Thank
last
you for your
quote.
comments.
You're not supposed to clap here. Conflict brings change. Crisis brings transformation. Just remember that. That was so great humanity.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else?
Great humanity.
Order, please. Anybody else? Hearing none, we'll move on to,
Just a minute.
You got one more.
I just want to say thank you for standing up and saying it. Thank you to the board members for being here. I've not been to any of these meetings. This is my first one. It is kind of a little shocking to see the animosity. There's a lot of people saying, you know, that the board is after some terrible means. I don't know what that is. But correct me if I'm wrong too, I do occasionally go to the Columbiaville District Library. And there's times that I go there for a book and it's not there. And then I was also told at one point that because it's a district county library, that you are able to get other books. It's not even a question about banning books, but I do agree with you over there that, and I would hope we would all agree, that children need to be protected. I hope that's a common ground for everybody.
That's the parent's choice. Well, the parent is in charge of their child.
order, please, order. It's not your time to
I
speak.
think we all know if we're parents, kids can kind of sneak out and get hold of things that they really shouldn't without you knowing. I know I did when I was a kid. But anyway, I just was a little shocked to see how things go, and I hope people remember to be so too.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else?
Okay, we do want our children to be safe. We do. But banning books is not going to make them safe. I have an adult son who's 48. We went to the library all the time. I made sure he was not in a section of the library that was not age appropriate. And I think that is every parent's responsibility. And true, they can sneak out and they can get information that's not good. Take their tablets away. Take their phones away. Pay attention. So in other words, when you say we're going to ban books, you're taking our rights away.
Yes.
Thank you for your comments.
Order. I just want to make a comment to the board and all people here.
Guys, get the mic, please.
To the board, I appreciate what you're trying to do, and I think you're trying to do a good job, and you want to be very informed. There are people that have made comments here tonight that I know are not totally informed on things. They don't know the truth, and they're picking words out and twisting them. So, but board, I want to tell you all, and I'm not just being specific here, I appreciate what you're trying to do. And I know it's got to be a lot to try to make the right decisions, both ethically, morally, and financially. It's a big job, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate the people's comments here tonight because we have a right to speak. But I also think there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I think there's people that need to do their research on certain things because they're not totally informed. Thank you. Have a great day. God bless.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else?
I guess so, John.
There's not a person in this community that I don't care about. We might differ on opinions on certain things, but one thing that I keep hearing this ban books. And I said this at the Center Building. We're not out to ban books, my understanding. We're just putting the age-appropriate books in the age-appropriate sections of the library. And that's where I think this library is going, is put the age-appropriate books in the right area of the library. Enough said.
Thank you for your comment.
I actually have 30 years plus experience in libraries, 20 some in library administration and management. I do know what they're doing. I'm very aware of what they're doing. The books are already in age-appropriate sections of the library because I trust my colleagues who also are experienced in understanding this process. So if you think that they're fooling you, they are. I mean, this is insane what is happening here. I've never seen or experienced anything like this in the 30 years I've been in libraries. I started my career in
addressing the board, not the public.
Well, okay, now we're going to change the rules. You don't like me pointing my glasses at you. You don't like me looking at you, so I'm not looking at you.
Anyone else? Yeah, it is. Everyone's supposed to.
Well, you're not following that rule.
No, I haven't, but it is a rule.
So it's okay.
They can choose, huh?
Well, they're not supposed to clap during comments either, so.
Right.
Oh, whatever.
No, that's the rule.
Anybody else? Hearing none, we're gonna move to board reports, treasury. Would you like the mic? Perry, would you like the mic?
Pardon?
Would you like the mic?
Stop travel. I'm hard of hearing anyway.
Are you?
I have two motions to make. The first one is for paying checks from the dates July 18th through August 21st. Check numbers on general checking 15730 through 15766 for $52,973.26. General checking online bill pay, check numbers GC 4525 through 4568 for a total of $24,539.50 for total general checking of $77,512.76. And payroll checking, check numbers PC 2341 through 2356 for a total of $163,332.38 for a grand total of $240,845.14. Second motion would be to pay checks from August 22nd through September 18th. General checking, check numbers 15767 through 15794 for $30,436.04. And online bill checks GC 4569 through 4598 for $13,647.88 for total general checking of $44,083.92. And payroll checking, check numbers PC 2357 through 2365 for a total of $48,509.37 for a grand total of $92,593.29.
We have a motion to approve that? Yes. We have a motion?
He made the motion.
I made the motions.
We need a second, please.
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion?
Perry, have these checks been audited? Because we didn't have a finance meeting. So I don't know how.
I have not audited the books as of right now because we're having some software problems going from the old system to the new system, which we should have cleaned up within, about 10 days, 2 weeks, at which time the books themselves will actually be audited, and then we'll meet with the finance committee and we'll go through all the checks. The checks are okay, but
So we're being asked to approve something that hasn't been audited. I'm not sure.
I'm asking you to approve the checks that have already gone out only.
These have already gone out.
That's how they do it every meeting. The
That's how
checks
we do
you
it
get, in this packet, these checks have always gone out for.
This is nothing new.
And we have them all here, but because we are switching from into BSNA, we need to make sure we're keeping up with keeping the people paid that we should be.
But you said they've already been paid.
We have the checks here that have been cut and we need to.
These have all been paid.
Yeah. Is there a certain one, there's a question
No,
of?
just in general, like it's out of order what we usually do. Usually we have a finance meeting before.
We do, but Carol wasn't available this week.
Who wasn't available?
Carol said she was not available this week.
Well, I was available Friday. How many days?
Oh, this is only Thursday.
There was only a couple days that we weren't, I don't know, like, I guess I don't know the, help me out, Tim, with the legality of it.
My understanding is that that's how they have been doing it forever, which is
Yeah.
that the you see in the meeting every month are checks that have already been cut.
Yeah.
Right. And we will meet as soon as everything is resolved, and we will go over the checks, just so that you can see them.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. Committee reports, finance?
There was no meeting.
There was no meeting. Hopefully we'll have one within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you. Policies and bylaws?
Yep. We've been averaging about one meeting per week. We've looked at all of the bylaws and our recommendations are being prepared for attorney review. The committee has gone through almost all of the sections of the policy handbook. I think we were down to about 4, but it just came to my attention today that in my policy handbook, and I don't know about the other board members, I have a very slim version of the collection development policy.
Are you looking at the DeAngelis one or the regular one?
What?
There is a specific collection development policy for the DeAngelis collection, and then there's, the one you want is the materials collection policy.
No, I have that. I have this collection development policy, and then if this one came to my attention, it's a 2014 one that was approved by the board action, and it's 8 pages long. So all I'm saying is as far as the meetings, we've been having them once a week, but I think I'm gonna put them off until I can meet with someone and we can make sure that, I think a policy and bylaw committee should have the accurate policies. So Just a comment on that. That's all I have.
It's the DeAngelis collection.
But yeah, maybe we could, I could bring my packet in and we could go through it, make sure I
Do you
have.
have the one right now that you're talking about?
Yeah. This is nowhere in my packet.
No, I don't believe that's the most up-to-date one. The one that you're gonna wanna look for is the material selection policy. That was in the original binder. This is material selection
Right, I
policy.
had that, but I also had this.
That is for the DeAngelis collection. Market change and small collection of items written about market change. So this is just about the
Okay,
DeAngelis
so why
archive.
didn't I have this then?
That is not our current policy. This is the current
That
policy.
override,
Yes.
that override that. Okay, well, this was just sent recently as being the most current one. By Teresa.
Okay, we'll have to look into it.
All right.
Thanks for bringing
So
that
that,
up.
yeah, that's why I was assuming it was the most current one.
And it may be very similar to the material selection policy. I know this name is confusing. This is just about our DeAngelis
Yeah, they're
collection.
both labeled the same, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's very confusing.
That's probably why they changed it to material selection.
Thank
Thanks, Kari. I would like to rename that one the DeAngelis collection. This is confusing.
I was confused when I read it.
Next up, I'm sorry, are you done?
No, you're good. I was just saying it is confusing that that has the same name because I've run into that before.
Okay, thank you. Next up is director search that everybody is interested in. We think, we've talked to a lot of people. There's a lot of news reports out that are scaring off a lot of directors coming to work for us. And, but we have some people that we think will have to interview in the next, between 2 weeks and a month from now. So that's all I have there.
How many people are we talking, I mean, how many people, you said you've talked to many people or several people, what,
Right.
is that
It's a search
5,
company.
is that 10, is that 2?
I don't know exactly how many.
When you say we've talked,
Yeah.
you or
The search.
The search company?
Yeah, I haven't talked to
Search
anybody.
company, oh.
I haven't talked to anybody. When I say we, I mean
Because I was confused.
as a group. Sorry. Okay, next is.
Are they going to submit a number of names for us to
Yes,
look at?
for us to interview, yeah.
The only reason why I'm kind of concerned is we're on 7 months right now,
Right.
almost. And we've never gone this long without a director. And very, very concerned about that because if it's another month before you even do that, you're looking at a minimum of 2 months, depending on the person that's chosen, where they live. You could be even going further than that, 3 months. You may not get a director until the beginning of the year. That's totally unacceptable.
Well, we're doing the best we can.
I have something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Please don't laugh, make comments. This is board discussion. This is a public meeting. Please stop that.
so I had planned on bringing up the idea of hiring an interim director. And someone from the public brought it up too. It's my understanding that that's something that can happen a little more quickly. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, on anything I'm saying. And we would have to first look for someone with the same credentials as a library director. If we couldn't find them, then we could hire someone with lesser qualities. I believe there were, I don't know if they're still here because I know we have staff leaving, but I do believe there were a couple in the staff that had the qualifications. So I think it's a good idea and something that we should look at very seriously, hiring an interim director if our search doesn't, the search committee doesn't start producing. I don't know what the process of that would be, if we would just take recommendations or if we have to set up a hiring process. I'm not sure, but I do think it's something that we should seriously consider. Maybe all of us board members could research that, find out, maybe somebody has recommendations So that's an idea, good idea, actually. 7 months too late.
Thank you. Lapeer County report. Any commissioner here want to do a Lapeer County report? Okay, unfinished business. New business. We're going to open the special public hearing for the budget.
We just have to approve the budget.
Oh, okay. Okay, I need a motion to approve the budget.
I'll move that we approve the budget as submitted to us.
Can I have a second?
I'll second approving the budget.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Budget passes.
Now,
Okay.
the next one is to talk about the IT replacement, the float replacement. Because it is such a large amount of money, we also have to do a budget amendment to move that money. So that's what this is, the budget amendment.
Okay, thank you.
I would make a motion to approve Capella for the work that needs to be done for replacing the IT cooling unit.
I'll second
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Budget passes.
I don't know if it's needed, but can we do a second one just to do the budget amendment part of it? That we are moving the money, we can move it from contingency to that budget line. Again, I don't know if it's needed, but I'd rather have it than not.
So you want a motion on it
Yeah.
too?
I'll move that we will adjust the budget to move the money from contingent to,
How much?
Maintenance or wherever that goes?
It'll probably be the price of what it is, so probably at least.
go $25,000 in your cover just in case there's an incidental.
Okay. Can I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, that passes as well.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Carol.
Okay, book purchasing and ordering.
We need to do the L4028 form. That is something we have to turn in with our budget to the county, so we just need, it is in your packet too. We just need approval of that. And then we will have to have board chair and secretary sign it after the meeting so we can turn it in.
Okay.
It's like the 28?
4028, this one.
29.
29, sorry.
It's 29.
It's this one here.
Okay, can I get a motion? To
So
pass?
moved. So moved.
How about a second?
A second?
Was that Peggy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
just think.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes.
So we do have to turn this in. Is this something that, well, we have Carrie's name on it, so is this something John can sign? Okay, then we'll just get those signatures after the meeting.
Okay. Book purchasing, ordering. Under new business.
So we're opening that up for discussion right now. So I have concerns about the number of staff that are leaving as well. And it's come to my attention that the department heads are the ones, the only ones that ordered the books. I've got a couple emails from Kara, and within them, they say that there is nobody currently experienced to order books. So therefore, I would like to make a motion that we, should I read this right now? Okay. The motion that I would like to propose, since the library's material selection policy indicates that the ultimate responsibility for selection rests with the library director, who operates within the framework of policies determined by the library board of trustees, and since the material selection policy further indicates that the director shall be responsible for ensuring that the funds budgeted for collection development are allocated appropriately. And since the position of the library director is currently vacant, the library temporarily pauses acquisition of new materials for the library collection until such time as a new library director is hired or until further direction of the library board. All Lapeer library policies and employee job descriptions shall be deemed revised to comply with and be subject to this temporary regulation.
My only question is that I know we talked about the department heads are the ones who are able to do that. So we will be hiring an adult services department head. So if that changes, would this change?
Well, it does leave room for that,
okay,
because it says,
Okay, can I interrupt you just for a second?
Yeah.
We get a second on this and then we can go to.
Well, we don't, there's not a motion, it's only discussion, there's no action.
No, I made a motion.
Oh,
I actually did, sorry.
No, you're good.
I started discussion and then I made a motion.
Right, so.
Point of order, I thought, yes, I can,
No,
because, yes.
you're not on the board.
Point of order,
Teresa,
No.
it's okay, it's okay.
No,
but we,
no, you're not on the board, I'm sorry. You can't make a point of order unless you're on the board. Public time, you can speak.
I'm an employee, so I'm not allowed to speak at public time either. So where do I get to speak? Because I'm the one that's very involved in what we're talking about.
Well, point of order is for board members.
It's okay.
We disagree on that.
They don't want you to point out inaccuracies.
We can just go back to the motion.
Yeah, let's go back.
Yeah.
Do we have a second for this?
I'll second it.
Okay, let's have discussion.
So that was only my question, because we will have a qualified department head.
And you did hire a manager, right?
We have a
But does she
manager.
not have very much experience? It
She
sounds
has
like
full experience collecting, and she's in her last semester in grad school.
Okay.
We will be hiring, I anticipate, hiring internally, another the adult services department head, who has had her master's degree for many years and has also done book collection.
So then you could present to us the people that you hired and their experience. So this motion does allow for that, it sounds like to me, because it's, until such time as they're a director, or further direction from the library board. So am I correct, Tim, that it
will require more action. If you pass that one, it will require more action by the board to authorize the department heads to purchase.
okay, so it sounds like it's something that we could, and,
Would we have to wait? Would we have
Teresa,
to wait
Teresa, I
to?
need you to go sit.
This
I know.
motion, we have to have
I
another
know.
motion later on and a meeting after that.
another board meeting?
Yes.
Did we have a special meeting?
There is provision for that in your bylaws.
Okay.
I mean, I understand if this is needed. I am also the one who puts in these orders. So if I have a directive to not put in any further orders until those two are confirmed, we can do that.
Okay.
That's not, we have some standing orders that automatically go in. We have stuff we've already bought that goes through. We can send you guys get those invoices in the board packets. We can send you those. I understand if this is needed, but we will have qualified people.
Yeah, we want to make it as short as possible.
So like I said, I understand that this is needed, but just coming from my side of things, I am the only one who puts in orders. So we have some that have already been put in that we continue to pay, but if the directive is to not put in any more until.
From this meeting on.
Yeah.
Okay. And hopefully.
We're only looking at 1 to 2 weeks at the most. I think we should hold off on this till the next meeting, at least. Otherwise,
And we
you're
can-
telling the public that we're not gonna be ordering books from them anymore.
And
What are our resources for loans, for don't we have pretty good resources?
We do, but that local library, any library will not lend out a new book for 6 months. So that
Oh,
means
okay.
nothing within the past 6 months.
Well, I'm not gonna withdraw my motion, I'd like it to stand as presented. But thank you for all that information, I appreciate it.
Is there any other discussion?
I'm just a question. I thought that we had to wait with the motion to the following meeting. It had to be presented.
That's for bylaws, right?
Yes.
For
That
bylaws.
was the reason why I made the motion and put in for policies also, to eliminate stuff like this coming up at one meeting, a very short discussion and a vote on it. To me, this is totally wrong. It should be, if you want to make this motion, or it should be at the next meeting, not this one.
I appreciate your thoughts, but I'm not gonna withdraw the motion.
Anyone else? Teresa, go ahead. You can talk now.
I just wanted to make sure that you understood that we definitely understand where this motion comes from. But again, I just wanted to echo, it was my understanding, and I could be mistaken, it was my understanding that when we do have something like this come up, it would be presented to you in your packet, you would get the information, and then it would be discussed at this meeting and voted on at the next meeting.
Because
So
it didn't
that was
say-
my understanding, so I'm sorry if I was mistaken. That was the point that I was trying to clarify because it was confusing to me. That was the only reason that I asked for a point of order.
Because it doesn't have action required next to it, so I
Right.
assume too.
I was confused.
And just so you know, I mean, I was waiting for a second so we could really open discussion. And whenever you want to talk, if you just say you'd like to have a few words, we'll do it. When the board gets done, before we vote on a motion or whatever you want to do. I just want to do it in a way where.
Of course, we want to
we
keep
don't-
order.
Right, yes, exactly.
Jen, can I ask Teresa a question?
Sure, go ahead.
So, when John and I met with you, you had mentioned doing, because I'm gonna be honest, it took me a long time to get this answer on how books come into the library. And I don't know why, maybe it was miscommunication or like just other things going on. But Kara and Janelle did come to our committee meeting and that was very helpful. We got a really good understanding of how books come into the library. And I've heard over and over from the public that they want the librarians picking the books. And I think that's the right thing to do. I don't want to pick the books, despite what other people might think, that I do want good qualified librarians making the book purchases. But when we sat down with you about the FOIA questions, and then we talked about like still not having a good understanding of how the books came in, and you had mentioned doing a flow chart. So I'm just wondering what that would look like.
Well,
Because
I can talk on that. We talked at that meeting. The flow chart is the department heads to me. And I don't decide on the order, I just input the order. The department heads decide, and I think John was at that meeting too, right?
I was.
Yes, because you asked about the flow chart.
Yep.
And we could do one, it would be very small, because it is the 3 department heads would decide. Now for the branches, they would get input from the branches, but they would still be the ultimate decision makers. And I think Janelle gave you the list of ones that she would.
The resources
Yep,
that
resources.
she uses, but then she went further to comment that she said she doesn't just go by the reviews because has 16 years experience, she knows the community, she knows what they want. And so that's where my concern comes in. If we don't have any experienced department heads, and even no matter what their degree is, they're still not gonna know our community, So that's kind of what prompted this thinking, is like, well, maybe we should just stop for a second so we get qualified people in. And then I will admit that I did not know it was only department heads that ordered books, and I don't know why it took so long for me to get that information or so thank you for explaining all that. I really appreciate it. And I would still like the flow chart in time. I know it's
When we have the people in those roles.
right, and I know there's a lot going on, and I willing to wait for it, but at some point, I think it, because as you mentioned, it would be helpful to board members to know that, future board members to know that, so, I appreciate that, thank you.
Any more discussion?
Oh, Carol has some- has it reached me?
I think so.
After hearing everybody talk, I must say I'm in agreement. I'm going to take back my second on this motion. I think we should vote on it at the next meeting.
Thank you.
There'd be another second. I don't know how that works.
But you can vote on it.
Yeah, you still get to vote on it.
Reference, so we can move to table it for next month.
Okay.
And by then, we will, I don't want to put it out there, we've had an internal candidate apply. She will likely be hired. She has applied for the other two jobs. She is fully qualified. So I just don't want to say that she's going to be our next adult services head when we haven't offered her the job yet. Yes. And she could, I'm sure she could come to the next meeting with Alexis, who's our new branch manager too, and talk about their qualifications or anything like that. So if you wanted to table it, I can work with them to get them at the next meeting too.
Carol made a motion to table it till next month. That would need a second.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
You said
Discussion?
that was Carol. I just want to write the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Discussion? Anybody? Vote on it?
If you're gonna vote on it, like a roll call vote.
No, next, he's going to table it.
Oh, you're gonna table it? I'm
Yes.
sorry. I'm sorry. You were second on the other. Thank you.
Okay, new building, land available in the
We can vote on that. I don't think we voted on that.
we need to vote on it, or we're just gonna table it?
We'll vote on the motion to table.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh, Perry, you were right. I'm sorry.
okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
Nay.
Motion passes, we'll table it till the next meeting. New building, land available in Lapeer.
That's this side.
So,
So you're just looking at it.
yeah. So I came across this property and buildings because it's someone that I know that has it up for sale. I did go and look at it, and I wanted to give you guys each the card of the real estate agent that has it listed. There are a lot of people interested in the property, so I just want to gauge the interest, if anybody has something they'd like to say about the possibility of taking a closer look at it. You have, in your packet, you have a pretty complete description and views of the properties, and I don't know if she has the cost in here, but there's two parcels. Each one is $315,000. The parcel A is the one that is on the corner, and that one is the one that I think would be most beneficial if we did move forward. My thought was it could be used for the administration building, the maintenance building, storage, and possibly children's programs. There's not a lot of parking. I think there's a 20 units of parking. But my thought was possibly the programs that we have once in a while that are so successful, like the summer reading program and the kindergarten readiness, maybe it could go on all year if we had the space. And I've also heard several times that we don't have room to keep all the books, so there's plenty of room there for storage. The one building has a garage door, so it's kind of set up for maintenance. It is ADA compliant. My untrained eye could not look and see if it needs any major work, but it definitely needs a lot of cosmetic work.
Our current admin building really needs a lot of work, and she
Yeah.
just approved a
So
$20,000.
just, when you're thinking about it, the 315,000, it would naturally be, more on top of that if it was something that, we wanted to purchase. The other lot, the Good Samaritans lease that right now. It's month to month, so, those buildings, I do know, the owner shared with me that they do need a lot of work, so, I guess the parcel A would be, like, personally for me, the only one that, I think would be beneficial. So for now, I guess I'm just asking if there's any interest from the other board members. If you have any questions, you could contact the realtor. That would let her know that there might be some interest. There are other people interested in it, and she's kind of holding off until after the board meeting, so she can have a sense.
I have just a question. I couldn't figure out just by looking at this where this is located. All it said was Inland City Road. Inland City Road and what?
Wilder Road.
Okay.
It's the old Sun Alarm building.
Yeah,
It took me a minute to.
I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I don't know where this is.
Yeah, that would be good information to have
Yeah.
here. But,
Thank you.
the owner is too open to, financing, purchasing, land contract. He's open to all different kinds of, and leasing too. So that's all I have on that. I didn't want to let it pass by without bringing it to the attention of the other board members. Lapeer Township.
Thank you, Peggy. Okay. The advocacy committee? Advocacy.
Yeah, that was just a thought.
Oh, to like add more.
I guess should have kept it. Yeah, I had a thought that it might be a good idea to, I know we have had before a standing advocacy committee, and I thought it might be a good idea to develop another advocacy committee, a standing committee. I'm finding that when I report to my township once a month, and I talk about the services that we have. And there's a lot of people that don't realize everything that the library offers. So that would, I think, would be one good thing to have them for. Promoting all the library programs that we have, and just to, I mean, obviously, like John said, some of the directors are backing out, like, I don't want any part of that, and I feel like as a community, if we can put our guards down and start trusting each other a little more, that we could change that narrative that people have about the library. And I think an advocacy committee would be good, and I would think that would be the purpose, to just kind of for the community to see, hey, there's a lot of good stuff going on and not just a lot of bad stuff. So I just wanted to present that idea, and again, someone had mentioned they didn't understand why there were community members on the ad hoc committee. I believe that's perfectly acceptable to do that, and this would be one too, where community members could be a part of it. So if any board members or anybody from the community has interest in being on the advocacy committee, you could contact Kari and let her know.
And all the board emails are all on our website, or we can get them too, so.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. Staff reports?
Are there any questions for Meg?
Yeah, Kara, I wonder, could you just go through your list and
Yes.
just talk a little bit about each one?
Do you want the mic? Would you like
No,
the mic?
I'm pretty loud, it's okay. Sorry. I don't belong. I have gotten stressed in our own library. So for September, August, September monthly meetings, there's only one meeting for MMLC, which is our co-op. As everybody knows, libraries are very busy during the summer, so they only had one. We also had our monthly managers meeting. The biggest thing we also did was Teresa and I continued BSNA training and implementation. We had some in-person training that went really well, and then we kind of went stalled because it was like, okay, we need the next step to it. So that's kind of been the issue. Actually, Teresa did some additional Zoom training, which went really, really well. So we're online for that. I had a call with our Hoopla digital rep because we have, if you are a library user, you may know, we have been hitting our Hoopla monthly reps daily, pretty much from the 1st to the 15th of the month, and then from the 20th to the end of the month, which is not something we want our patrons to be doing. We want to allow them the digital services. So we met with the rep to kind of talk through some other areas where we can change it slightly and shift some funds around that we're going to go to a different area in Hoopla into this area so patrons can have more of the instant gratification on that. I also had to meet with our Ameriprise financial rep. So because we don't have a director, they have to put me on as like a certain leader in the system. So there will be a motion coming next board meeting for you guys to approve for that. So I did the initial interview with them. They took down all my information, and then they'll get the packet ready for that. The other things that I am currently working on are doing. So as I talked about our VLC database preparation, VLC is a Valley Library Consortium, which is how we get books from other libraries. It is also the system we use to check in, check out books. All our patrons are housed under there. We go through it with Valley. That system will be completely changing over in 2026. It is a huge change. It would be like if Google decided to change. I was in training about 2 months ago for a week with them. I'll be in training next week. This is how we'll order through that system. This is how we keep records of acquisitions. So that's next week is training on that. That does not actually go into play until I believe the set time is March 2026 for that. We have also, I don't want to say lost, but we've had some library assistants whose lives just changed. So we've had a lot of openings at branches. We've had to close some branches. So we have been doing a ton of interviews. I think we are up to 12 interviews right now, which is awesome. We will be hopefully hiring people we're doing reference calls right now, and then we'll be hiring more by hopefully next week. Alexis, who moved into the DeAngelis manager position, she was the branch manager at Columbiaville and Elba. So we're also, she's working on kind of doing basically 3 jobs right now. She's those 2 branch manager and she's working at DeAngelis. So we'd really like to get somebody into Columbiaville and Elba so she can focus on DeAngelis. I went to the Lapeer food truck outreach, which is so much fun. I love doing that. And then Duck Dash was last week. Again, so much fun. We usually see over 300 to 400 people there. So we do the craft with Kiwanis. And then me and Tracy did a lot of the budget prep. As Jane pointed out, it does look pretty similar to last year. We kind of I keep track of when a bill comes in, and Teresa does the same, I believe, of how much something has gone up. Does this newspaper cost more? Is this service costing more? So I keep track of that throughout the year, and then we basically just budget that into the next year. Of course, when it comes to office supplies and things, gas, we can't really decide on that too much, so we make best guesses of what we have been paying, but we don't go too much over because this is the community's money. So, and then we will start planning for staff day. So staff day always takes place on Columbus Day, so that will be, I think it's October 13th this year. So, and that is always up at the Columbiaville, I don't think it's Township Hall, but the building next to our Columbiaville branch. It's a really great building if you are up in that area and need it for anything. So that's my list. Any questions or anyone want further clarification on anything?
On the staff day, is that the day the library is closed?
The library is closed, yes. It is a very common, I know most libraries are closed on that day to do some sort of staff training. And there's nothing specific. Teresa's going to go through a couple financial things with people. I will probably, if I have some Polaris information, staff is pretty nervous about the Polaris changeover. Like I said, it's a big deal. So I'm hoping to be able to show them what it's going to look like on that day. and maybe calm some nerves from that. But like I said, that won't actually happen until March of 2026. Any other questions?
Is the new branch manager here?
She is not. She is working at a branch. It's Thursday, so she's at Elba.
So.
But yes, I can make sure, once we get, it's this domino effect. Once we did all the interviews, we can get the new subs hired, they can come work at the branches, and Alexa can start her job. She is doing her job, but currently she's kind of jumping all over the place, so.
Okay. 'Cause I think it would be nice just whenever people are hired, because we put the resignations in the board packet, but it'd be nice to know the.
Yeah, especially the department heads, yeah. And yes, by the next meeting, we should have, Alexis will be able to come, and then the other one who I assume will be the, adult services manager too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Next is communications. Harmony Crocker resigned, got another job. She was branch manager. And also Janelle Bishop resigned as well. She got another job as well. Can I have a motion to accept the resignations?
I don't think, they're already gone.
Kind of late for that?
We haven't done that before.
Okay.
I mean, we can if we need to, but if you don't accept, then.
Gonna chain them up.
Yeah, I was like.
This one you already did.
Yep, the millage one is good. Communication is just what we sent you in the board packet too. So if there's any questions about anything in here, but Brian went over his server unit. And then we included Audrey's September, October newsletter too.
Okay.
And go Friends report.
Okay, let's go to the Friends report. You have nothing, Brian?
Nothing, no.
Okay. Board comments? Where do we want to start? Perry, you want to start? Board comments, do you have any?
Not at the moment. I think we've gone over everything I was concerned about.
Okay. Bonnie? Carol?
No.
Peggy?
I have just a request for information. Can we get an employee handbook? So,
yes,
the board members?
Yes.
I understand it's not online.
It's through our way to clock in and out. It's on that website. So
okay.
yeah, it's not on our policy.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it huge? Like, print it out? Yeah, probably.
I think it's like 30 pages.
I'd be happy to provide that.
Yeah.
So
I don't think
I
it's
don't know if we need one for everybody, maybe just one, and we can pass it around or
Okay.
something. But, and then I did have a comment about the time change. I received at least one email from someone that was very upset about the time change. And I told that person that I would be committed to checking my emails right before I come to the board meeting. And that is another way if you know of people that can't come. I know it's not the same as being here, but we do have the agenda. Any comments that you would want to make, you could always email them. And I made a commitment to do that, and I told that person that I would ask all the other board members to do that as well. So the people that can't get here can still be heard on what they want to say. So that's all I have.
Okay. I have a few things I want to go over. I have a concern coming up. We have a millage coming up here soon. It's going to be on us soon. And all this fighting is going to hurt our millage, our chances of getting this millage passed. I think we could be more civil. And I think that running around to the townships complaining about things doesn't help us pass a millage. I think it hurts us. I think I'm concerned we're not gonna get it passed. We have a lot of stories that go in our newspaper, and Jeff, you have some cartoons you put in there that are not very good, flattering towards the library, and I'm concerned about our millage. I think all this fighting is gonna kill our millage, and it's a huge concern of mine. And, you know, Brian, I mean, I think you screaming at us and you're gonna lawyer up and all that, I mean, that just seems so out of character for you, and now I see you running for mayor, so.
But this is out of character for me.
Well, we're gonna have a public time if you wanna speak then. But I think that hurts us. It doesn't help us. And you say you love the library, everybody in here says they love the library, but that's not a way to love our library, not get our millage done.
Yeah, can I add to that?
Absolutely.
So, I know the purpose of certain groups and certain people are to direct it at the new board members. I understand, like, when you have a fear that something's gonna happen, it can come out as anger. And I understand why you're doing that is to discredit the board, but it's going hand in hand with the library. And I just think maybe you could think of other ways to spread your word and not have it reflect on the library as it is, because it really is. And then the filming, I know that it's completely legal and allowed. To be honest, I've watched a few of them myself because I had someone say that I became unhinged at a board meeting, and I was like, oh, that makes me feel weird. I don't want to come across as that. So I watched myself again, and in my opinion, it didn't come across as unhinged. I was passionate, but I didn't feel like I was unhinged. But what's happening with the recordings that are going around to the different townships, they run after the meetings are over, which is still, I think, legal. But there's some private conversations that are being recorded that people may not realize, and they're going on Facebook. The one, actually they go on Facebook, I think YouTube, I don't know where all they're shared. But the one was a member of the public talking to a board member about her husband's medical problems, and I don't think she was aware that she was being recorded. So I think just out of a sense of decency that it would be fair to either stop the recording or just make people aware that the recordings are still going on. So I know myself, if I had a private conversation and I didn't realize it was being recorded, it'd be very hurtful. And even though it may be legal, it's just ethically, I think that would be the right thing to do. So now that's all I have.
I do want to make a clarification because it's been in public, written in public, that I'm very flattered. However, I am not the founder of the Lapeer County Tea Party. I didn't join that party until 2 years after it was already founded, so I just wanted to clarify that. That's it.
Good. Yeah, I think you're talking about this. It's in
I'm
here.
talking
Yeah,
about-
it's in here, that you're the founder of the Tea Party.
For freedom of speech.
Yeah, so this is going around too at townships, the book banning at the Lapeer District Library. And I feel like people are taking their opinions and putting it down on paper and then passing it along and saying these are facts, and they're not. They're not facts, and it's being presented everywhere in the community. And that's why I think we need the advocacy committee, because sometimes if a lie just keeps getting repeated and repeated, and you start getting people to believe it, and then it becomes a truth. And there's a lot of stuff in here that's not truth, a lot. So maybe I don't diminish anybody's right to free speech and be able to get up and say what you want to say, but try to distinguish between your opinion and, you know, your opinion is not fact. Your opinion is your opinion. And, you know, it's getting, and it's getting to the point where I might look at legal action, because people keep saying that I am anti-gay and lesbian, and I am not. And I have not done anything to indicate that I am, but it's being presented that this is a fact. This is a fact. She wants to target all of the gay and lesbian books in the library. That is being presented as a fact, and it's not. And that's not free speech, that's defamation. And I'm at the point where I just need to look at further options on what I can do about this, because it's, not only defamation to me, but then again, it definitely hurts our library. And I don't know where we would be without the millage, so it's just something to keep in mind on when you're presenting.
I'm afraid we'll be out of business without it, and I'm afraid all this stuff leads to us not getting our millage passed. So I just want to remind everybody, if you really love the library, you need to think about this. And a couple other comments. Ken was speaking earlier about, he couldn't hear. We'd ask him to move closer. He did not move closer at the meeting. One meeting he did, 2 other ones he wouldn't, and then he's still complaining he can't hear. We have Kara now dragging speakers and AV equipment so that he can hear us now. And all you have to do is move a little closer. We've offered that to you. That's not good enough for you. This is my time. Whoever's saying no out there. So just remember, we have a millage coming up. Don't destroy our library. Thank you. Okay, we have the NMLC report.
Here is it.
Okay, public comment time.
Leslie Getz, I live in Mayfield Township. Mr. DeAngelis, I agree with 99.9% of everything that you just said regarding being supportive of our library. However, I would point to some of the board members and ask them to take responsibility for their part in continuing negative views of our library. I have heard a number of board members speak in a number of public settings, always planting the seed about people are going to vote no on the millage. You're planting some of those seeds and inferring that people should vote no on the millage. There have also been a number of negative written documents that have been spread by members of this board saying, I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have the documents in front of me today. Things like, do you know what's happening at your library? Do you know your library is doing this and this and this? Those are negative things. And I would ask that people that on the board that are spreading negative things be responsible for what they're saying as well as the public.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else? Sure.
I just want to say about the hearing part is that it is important to have this, because at those meetings, it was tremendously hard to hear you. And even here, it's tremendously hard to hear you. I mean, some people are louder than others, but Kara, thanks for bringing it. And also, Kara, I want to say thank you. It's such a relief to listen to you, who knows what you're doing, who has all the balls basically doing this right now. You're doing a tremendous job. And, real quickly, I'm going to we've kind of talked about this already, but Amy Churchill, director, left 2024. Diane Brigatti was there for 7 months, left March 25th. Mary Coles went to Auburn Hills, left June 25, Harmony Crocker, reference librarian, left in 2025, went to Armada. Janelle Bishop went to Oxford. She's a fiction librarian. I was there last week with 2 women upstairs that they really seemed as if they didn't know what they were doing. I was at a social event with Mary Coles. She came to me with tears in her eyes and said, I didn't want to leave. I love the DeAngelis Library. I didn't want to leave, but I can't, the board has basically pushed us out. You haven't fired or any of these people, but by your actions, you have pushed them out. And it was this wonderful, wonderful library that everyone went to and was comfortable the interesting too, that you're talking to the community here and telling them about the millage. But yet you've come in and created so much havoc and changed it to what we had before, where it was a lovely place to go, and now you don't see, I guess you don't see that. And I guess I don't understand when I listen to Kara, and then I listen to you guys, and you don't know what you're doing, and granted, you're learning, you're trying. But why do you want to do that? Why do you want to wreak havoc and wreck our library? That's the thing. And then you talk about us being angry. Well, yeah, of course we are. Of course we are. It's a place that we love. And you've come in to try to destroy it. I don't get what is your modus operandi? I mean, what's your purpose? I'd like to know. I mean, do you have a mission statement? I mean, I'm sure we used to have a mission statement, but I don't know if we do now. Just destroy the hell out of our library? Okay, the other thing is the survey, or about the millage and building a new place or whatever, we have a perfectly good, wonderful spot on Millville and Genesee that's already paid for. That would be a wonderful spot for a library. It's within 5 schools around it. And we had a company come in to survey the whole area to see where best to have the library, and that was it.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's John Carpenter, Oregon Township. As someone that's been in a leadership role pretty much my whole adult life, I'd like to thank you all for being here and doing this. I appreciate it very much. And for anyone that would like to be heard, I would suggest that you put aside the personal insults, the personal attacks, the anger, and focus on your concern, present it to the board. They'll much more be likely to hear you because, as I said, I was in a leadership role my whole life. When people came at me, I pretty much drowned out everything else they had to say. All I did was focus on defense. So that's my suggestion. And once again, thanks everybody for being here.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else?
Robert Thomas from Lapeer. As I've said, I've spoken before. I've been going to the DeAngelis Library since the 1950s. My aunt was a public librarian. My wife worked for this library from 1998 to 2012. She was a library assistant. She was the Twig librarian at Elba for 9 years. All I can say is that most of the people speaking at this board, at this meeting, will be voting for any millage that's put up. We are firmly committed to the millage. My wife had, in 2007, when the millage was defeated, she was laid off for 9 months. It nearly crushed her. So I'm not worried what all the people here have spoken. I'm worried about what the board will do. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else? Go ahead, Mike.
I think I'm good. I think I can project enough.
You're pretty quiet.
Can you hear me now? Okay. I'm speaking today because I'm concerned that too much of the public isn't aware of how the majority board members are misrepresenting themselves as supporters of the library, when, in fact, their actions are destabilizing the library and expanding their personal control over it. One action they've been moving towards taking is censoring certain books in the library. Though limiting access to these books in a public library breaches our First Amendment rights. Some of the public may agree with the books they intend to censor, but that doesn't mean it isn't a violation of our rights. And this may be why they've retained a lawyer, for whom all of us are paying an exorbitant amount. The majority board members have been trying to scare people into accepting censorship by falsely accusing the library of having obscene materials. However, what people should be afraid of is the truly obscene amount of money we, the taxpayers, are having to pay for this lawyer. I'd strongly encourage everyone to look into what we, the public, are being forced to pay for. Another action that has been taken to undermine our library is the harassment of librarians and staff who openly disagree with the board majority, resulting in several library employees resigning. There is documented evidence that the board majority has indeed harassed people, and I'm happy to share that information with you after this meeting. But you can see and hear for yourselves some of the harassment that goes on. At the meeting in July, Ms. Kohlman seemed to try and publicly shame Kara, the current assistant director, by accusing her of frequently being absent from her job when this was an inaccurate representation of what was happening. Having said all that, I suspect supporters of the majority board, and possibly the board members themselves, may attempt to characterize my comments as an attack on these board members. But presenting facts that contradict what someone says is not the same as attacking them. You're simply pointing out that the actual facts of the matter don't support their assertions. For example, someone comes up to you and tells you your hair is green, but it's actually brown. So you contradict what they have said, telling them no, it's brown. Are you attacking that person by contradicting what is actually true? No. By stating what is actually true. No. You're just pointing out the error of their assertion by making a fact-based statement. So please do some research, honestly, and find out what the facts are so we can have a true discussion. We have to be logical and rational instead of falling for purely emotional appeals.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else? Hearing no more, how about a motion to
Motion to adjourn.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes.